Hi, so the designer I went with was Florence Knoll, and she was born in 1917 and unfortunately has passed away only a year ago. And she worked as an architect and then later went into interior design, furniture design, and textiles. From her collection, I decided to go with her original design for the lounge chair from 1950. And I chose this chair because I liked the angles that were occurring throughout the design, as well of the instability that the chair um, almost displayed. It was like an effect that I felt that if you were to sit in this chair, you would fall backwards because of the tilt that was occurring from the angles that were seen in the back. So going into my iterative process, I was inspired from the back of the back of the chair, and I wanted to incorporate that angle shape in some way in the overall space because I wanted to create this tight filled space at the beginning of the journey or path that you take throughout the museum. And then once you get to the actual chair display, I wanted to feel like open space and you can walk around and look at the chair and have your um like make it feel like it's breathable in there. Um so some of my ideas that I had, you can see it from the first three. They were very similar. The third one, the third image at the right, at the very top, that was my most different idea that I had. I ended up not going with this one because I didn't think it represented the chair that I had as well. And then after sharing my and discussing with Jeff, we ended up making it so that I stepped away from restricting the walls and almost exaggerating those angles that were seen in my previous ideas, but just losing the tame that I had with the form. So in my modeling, the first one I drafted was just the first idea that I had. I just wanted to see what the space would look like, how it would feel if I were to do these like openings, crevices in the hallway and see how light would shine through. And if, what would I do if I were to put walls behind there that had coloring? Because Florence Knoll liked to do the hanging drape effect with walls to separate her space and bring out that geometric form that she liked to use. And after looking at the first model, I took some points and I revised it and I came up with this space after. And this one felt more open and it felt less rigid. I wanted to, well, it's still rigid, but the angles were able to actually do what I intended them to do. And then my final model. So when you walk into the space, you will meet the receptionist desk and you will see this hallway of colors. And behind there are hanging curtains. And if light were to shine through, those colors would beam at the floor and it would give this effect for the viewer and give them this experience. And once you get through this hallway, you will go around this middle center piece wall thing that I'll explain later. But once you get around there, there's a maze of panels that are hanging from the ceiling that also have similar colors that you see from the chair, and it is an implied path for someone to get through. And because when you're walking around that area, you will see bits and pieces of the actual chair display. And then once you get through the maze, you will come into the area where the chair is displayed, and it is displayed on this wedge-like pedestal. And then there are two chairs on the ground that you can actually interact with. I wanted the viewers to be able to interact with the chairs and feel the texture that is on there. And then to see this chair on a higher ground, to see how it looks from the side, from the back, and you can roam about. It's a free open space that I wanted people to enjoy. So this is just my perspective. And then in my floor plan, I wasn't so sure of how to display the hanging panels, but this is what I had. And then this is just the reflected ceiling plan. I ended up using like can lights, surface fluorescent lights, and a track light. And then these are my sections. Section A is, if you can see the red, it's to show where the chair is displayed, and then some of the hallway and the panels. And then for section B, I wanted to just show how the panels look like from the side and how that one corner is when you walk through it. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.